When you were younger, your parents told you what foods you should eat and what foods you shouldn't eat. They told you stay away from the junk foods and the sugars and eat more fruits and vegetables. Now also when you were younger, you had classes in school that told you how you're going to start liking boys and girls, you're going to start going through that awkward phase, you're going to have a lot of hormones happening and all that good stuff. Now between your parents telling you what you should eat and shouldn't eat and your health teacher telling you how your body's going to change, never did the word metabolism come into play. Now, I know when I was younger, I had no idea what the word metabolism was or how it affected my body. And even before this speech at the age of 20, I still wasn't too sure what metabolism could do for my body. And I'm sure a lot of you here today were thinking the same thing as me. So today, I'm going to be talking to you guys about how the causes of change in metabolism can affect you as young adults today. And some of the research that I got for this was from kidshealth.org, which basically detailed and gave me kind of a good definition, description about how metabolism works in my body. And also from WebMD, which had great articles that kind of listed what your age, RMR, and your exercise can kind of do for your body. And before I begin, I'm also going to tell you kind of the causes of effect. I mean, it's the 4 causes that I'm going to tell you guys about your metabolism. That's going to be from your RMR, your age, what you eat, and your exercise. And before I get into my first cause of change, which is your RMR, I'm going to tell you guys a rough definition of what I got out of my research. And that was basically that metabolism is a series of chemical reactions that take place in your body that take the food you eat and break it down to energy that you can use later on. So a quick diagram that I kind of illustrated was you take from the food you eat, it goes into your body and digest it, and enzymes take this food and they break it down to 3 categories. They're going to take the fat and turn it into fatty acids. They're going to take the protein, turn that into amino acids, and then they're going to take the carbohydrates and then turn that into sugars, also known as glucose. Now once enzymes break this down, it's going to get into your blood system, and your blood system flows throughout your whole body, and that's going to in turn go into cells. Now once it goes into these cells, a different type of enzyme is actually going to meet this, and it's going to do one of 2 things with it. It can either use it for anabolism, or it could use it for catabolism. Now first off, anabolism is where it takes this energy and it stores it for later use, whether it's going to be in your liver, in your fat tissues, or just turn into fat overall in your body. Now it can also turn into catabolism, like I said, and what that is basically that's going to take that energy and use it right away in your daily use, whether it's going to be for sports, for exercise, or just anything you need right away. Now what determines if it's going to be used for anabolism or catabolism is your pancreas. And so that's just going to say, hey, I got this food and this energy right away, and I'm either going to need it for one of 2 things. I'm going to save it, or I'm going to use it right now. And so now that I kind of gave you guys a little general use of what metabolism is and what it can do for your body, I'm going to go into my first cause of change in metabolism, which is your RMR. And so your RMR stands for your resting metabolic rate. And what that pretty much means is if I sleep for 9 hours and somebody else sleeps for 9 hours and I say I burn 100 calories and they burn 50 calories, my RMR, or resting metabolic rate, is going to be a lot higher than theirs. And basically that's going to be determined through hereditary. So if your parents have a high or low RMR, resting metabolic rate, you're going to have the same thing. So unfortunate for some, it's going to help us increase or decrease our metabolism. Now my second change of cause of effect for metabolism is going to be through your age. Now I kind of found some interesting research from WebMD that stated that at the age of 40, you actually start to lose 5% of your metabolism, or it decreases and slows down. Now I thought that to be kind of scary, but I did some more research and I found that at the age of 25, if you're less active and you kind of slow down and start becoming a couch potato, you're actually going to start that 5% decrease at that age of 25. So I'm sitting here today thinking, wow, I'm 20 years old, I'm 5 years away from that, so I want to still keep active and hopefully I can retain my metabolism and keep it faster, but naturally, like I said, at the age of 40, that's going to start to happen. Now my third cause of change in metabolism is going to be the food you intake. Now this is very, very essential and important because there's a couple things that can either help reduce your metabolism or speed it up. Now one of these ways is by eating a lot of spicy foods. So I don't know if you guys like sweet and sour in your chicken, when you go to Chinese food or whatever, but basically by crushing red peppers or eating spicy food, your metabolism can actually get boosted up and can become faster. Now that's been proven at WebMD. It showed a little articles on why it can do that, but some of the other food that actually is really important is protein. Now, by eating protein, it takes 25% more energy to break down your protein when you digest it. So what's going to happen is your metabolism is going to rev up, and it's going to use a lot more energy to break that protein down, and from that, your metabolism is going to be boosted up. Now, fiber is also a very important part of actually speeding up your metabolism too, because fiber is a non-digestible carbohydrate, which basically means it's not going to be able to be digested. So your metabolism is going to work even faster to break that down when in reality it can't. So those are some good ways of food you can eat. Also, if you ever heard of omega-3 fatty fish oils, they're kind of new on the market, but what that's kind of going to do is the EPA and the omega-3 fish fatty oils is it's going to take the enzymes that you use to break down the food that you digest, and it's either going to add them or it's going to decrease them, meaning it's going to put more enzymes in your body to break down that food and that fat in your system, or it's either going to have, if you don't take it, less enzymes to break down that fat in your tissues. Also, the fad diets, as they call it nowadays, which a lot of you see, supermodels or people that are important take those. Those are actually really bad for your metabolism. And those are going to decrease your metabolism, because when you start doing those fad diets, you're going to start taking in a lot less calories. And what's going to happen then is your body's going to go into starvation mode. And it's going to say, hey, I'm not getting the normal calories that I need daily. And it's going to start shutting down. And those calories that you do take, it's going to store those into fat. And basically that's going to slow your metabolism down. Now, to reverse that and speed up your metabolism, if you eat 6 to 7 meals a day and break those separate those between 2 to 3 hour periods, what's going to happen is your metabolism is going to start increasing. It's going to say, hey, I'm getting all these calories that I need. They're coming in at me constantly and throughout the whole day, so I need to speed up my metabolism so I can turn those calories either into fat or hopefully into energy. And so basically, food is really important in your daily intake and to help either reduce or speed up your metabolism. And my last cause of change in your metabolism is going to be from the exercise or the weightlifting that you do take. And basically, 1 pound of muscle that you have on your body actually burns 35 calories a day, which is pretty surprising that I found from WebMD. And from this, you can see that a lot of bodybuilders have those lean muscles and those bodies that are just pretty much all muscle and you don't see a lot of fat. Well, that's because all their fat is, like I said, taking those calories and burning them. So metabolism is going to be at a high pace, and it's going to be wanting to use up all those calories because all the muscle that they do have. So if you sit on your couch a lot and become a couch potato, you're going to build more fat, and therefore metabolism is going to slow down. And like I said earlier, at the age of 25, that's really important for you to stay healthy and stay active and do a lot of exercise. So in conclusion, today I hope that you guys learned a lot about metabolism and the causes and changes that it can have in your lives today as young adults that we are. And hopefully you can look back on the 4 causes I talked about: your RMR, your age, your food intake, and your exercise. And once that comes up, maybe in everyday, your everyday talk that you have with friends, hopefully you can relate that back to metabolism and say, hey, I can either decrease or increase my metabolism from those 4 things. So thank you.